Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. I think we're going to be expecting a few more people to join us tonight, so I'm going to give them a minute or two, a minute and a half to join. But while we're sitting here, please feel free to let me know in the chat where you're joining from. It's always nice to kind of get an idea like what countries, what states everyone is joining from. I also like to know if you've ever used Daytrip before. When it comes to these webinars, there's going to be a little bit of something for everybody, so it's fine if you're a Daytrip expert, if you've never used us before, there'll be something in this for you aside from the beautiful island destinations. So definitely use the chat. I'll also let you know that I am from Ohio, but I am joining right now from Prague, Czech Republic. That is where I'm based. So let's see where we've got people joining from. Sunny California, very jealous. I'm sitting here in my turtleneck, so I'm very jealous. Zagreb, Croatia, even more jealous actually. I'm going to Albania this weekend though, so I'll be nearby. Not super close, but not too far. Kelvin is joining from New Orleans. We've got Michelle, North Carolina. We've got Idaho, London. Okay, amazing. So mostly American audience, which is usually what we get, but it's always nice to see just like the variety where everyone's from. So definitely keep letting me know in the chat where you're joining from. Let me just double check that nobody's waiting, and then I will get started just a few seconds. Okay. Yeah, see, they're starting to trickle in now, which is great. But I definitely don't want to take up too much of your time, and I know we want to get to the good stuff. So I am going to go ahead and get started in just 2 seconds. Okay, I see that we also have a nice selection, a nice variety of people in the chat who have used Daytrip before, people who haven't used us before. So I'm really excited to spend this time with you today to tell you a little bit more about our service and, of course, tell you about all of the island routes that we recommend to you guys and how we can keep your clients connected on those islands. So let me just briefly introduce myself. My name is Emma. I am a junior partnership manager here at Daytrip. And in my role, I get to work with you guys, our travel advisors, to make sure that you understand how our product works and help you make the most out of our product. So that's exactly what I'm going to do today. You can see here with our table of contents, we're going to start with a little bit about who Daytrip is, are the collection of Daytrip people, who we are, how you can use us on Caribbean islands. I'll highlight some destinations that I really recommend to you guys and sort of tell you like how we can help you on those islands. And then I will show you a brief booking tutorial on our website, give you like a rundown of how you can really operate our travel agent portal so that you feel equipped to book these trips. And then we will end with a question and answer session. Please add your questions in the chat. My colleague Sada is here to help me. She's going to go through, answer your questions as they come in. If she finds them like immediate, like you got to get an answer now. If not, we will talk about it in the Q&A section. So please feel free to put all of your questions in there and we will either answer it in the moment or address it at the end. But to get started, why Daytrip? Many of you on the call already know why you're using Daytrip, why you're using us and joining our webinars. But for those of you who don't know, I think it's always nice to start out with a little bit of a testimonial from a reputable source. So here you can see we were recently featured in Forbes, which is like the reputable source. We were able to help one of their writers transport her husband and son. Like they were on a trip. That sounded weird the way I said it, but they were on a trip with us in Ireland. They were doing a golf trip. And she was like, how am I going to get them from these towns all over the place? So she turned to Daytrip and we were able to help her. She says it best here that the logistics seemed ridiculously complicated until she came across Daytrip, and boom, we helped her out and we got a really cool Forbes feature out of it. So don't take our word for it necessarily, but you can take Lois's word for it. But beyond that, we can also tell you a little bit more about what we do so you can kind of get an idea for yourself. So you'll see here that we are a convenient door-to-door private car transfer service. We operate in over 130 countries around the world, including islands, as we will discuss later. And that door-to-door service can also be thought of as point-to-point. We have really fantastic technology that allows us to pick up your travelers exactly where they are and take them exactly where they need to go. We're able to do this with a network of over 11,000 vetted English-speaking drivers. And those trips can really be flexible. They're customizable. They can range from 20 miles to 300 miles, shorter, longer, anything in between. And I think the most important piece of our service for you guys to know is that we have 24/7 customer support. So as you're going through, you're planning these trips, you're booking these trips, customer support is there for you. As your travelers are on these trips, they're there for you. After the trips, they're there for you. It really is 24/7. Like truly, you can contact them via email, phone number, chat on our website. We are here for you. We just want to get your travelers where they want to go. And I think it's really important to also know who the drivers are when it comes to Daytrip because they're the people that you're putting your clients, you're putting them in their hands. You want to know that you can trust them. So I think it's really cool to highlight our driver vetting process, which is very thorough. It begins with a one-on-one interview with the country manager. This really is a sit-down interview to figure out if the driver is a good fit for Daytrip and if Daytrip is a good fit for the driver. Beyond that, there is a driver background and car safety check because we would not want to hire someone who we wouldn't trust with our own families, with our own friends. And so this is exactly what this step is for. We run a regular background check and we make sure the car is up to the Daytrip standards, which includes that the car cannot be manufactured more than 10 years ago. We have a luxury service as well, and that has an even more strict standards. So the cars cannot be more than 5 years old, which every time I say that a car is 5 years old, it sounds so strange. It's like I'm talking about a child. The car cannot be manufactured more than 5 years ago. The third step in our vetting process is that they need to go through a customer service training. This is because, yes, it's a transfer, it's a service that we're performing, but we want our drivers to know that they are the person that your travelers are kind of seeing when they arrive somewhere. In many cases, they're the first pickup at the airport. So we want them to do it with a smile on their face. We want them to welcome your travelers, make them feel comfortable. And so we have a training exactly for that. The fourth step is the approval. But if I could edit this, it's kind of like an ongoing thing. It's not like a fourth step, that's the end. The approval is something that is subject to their continued performance. If we find out that they are not performing up to the Daytrip standard, we do review the collaboration, we review the partnership, and sometimes we do have to terminate cooperation. We give them many chances. We understand that things happen, but we have to also make sure that we are giving your clients the service expected. So these are the different vehicle types that we can offer your clients. You can see here that the largest number of passengers we can accommodate in one vehicle is 7 people. But if you have a larger group, we are able to do multiple vehicles in one booking. So you can pick a sedan, MPV, van, or luxury sedan. And no matter which vehicle you choose or which type of vehicle you choose, you will have the same inclusions of a vetted English-speaking driver. The vehicles will be climate controlled. Your travelers will get water bottles. And then the luxury service, as you can imagine, is like slightly different. Like I said, the vehicle has to be manufactured less than 5 years ago, but additionally, the driver will always show up suited. This is only available right now in Europe and selected countries like Japan, South Korea, but only the best, most highly rated, wow, I wish I could speak English, most highly rated drivers are able to drive for our luxury service. So just keep that in mind when you're booking with us, but definitely give it a shot if it's available where you're planning a trip. So now that we've done the classic spiel, now that you know what Daytrip is and how we can help your clients, we're going to get to the meat of the presentation, which I am very excited to talk about. But I must first give the disclaimer that this is also very difficult for me because, like I said, I'm wearing a turtleneck right now. It's like 50 degrees here in Prague. It was raining for the past 2 days. So as I was like putting this presentation together and seeing these beautiful beaches, I'm like, how am I going to do this? But I think that just adds even more substance to the presentation because you know it's real. It's like I was sitting there going through the different locations thinking like, where would I want to go? Where would I want to send my own travelers? So don't be surprised if by the end of this presentation, I'm like reaching out to one of you like, please plan me a trip to the Dominican Republic. Like it's going to happen probably. But before we get to the Dominican Republic, I have a couple other destinations I would like to highlight, beginning with one that I'm sure all of our American audience is familiar with, which is Puerto Rico. I chose this one because actually 93% of all tourists who visit Puerto Rico are American travelers, which makes sense. I mean, it's not too far away. There's no passport requirement for Puerto Rico for American citizens. So this really is the perfect destination. But even beyond that, there's gorgeous beaches, as you can see here, really cool forts and fortresses. So this is a really awesome destination. But instead of highlighting kind of like the normal San Juan destination, any kind of like beaches, I picked 2 places that are a little bit more off the beaten trail. But with Daytrip, we are happy to help you get there. So the first one is Aguadilla. As you can see from these stunning pictures, which I can't look at too long, obviously, there are over 19 beaches in Aguadilla. Actually, some of the websites I saw said 23. There seems to be kind of like an argument about exactly how many beaches there are, but take my word, there's a lot. So you can always kind of do like a little bop around, see which beach is best for your clients or have them go to multiple ones. All of the beaches in Aguadilla have perfect waves for surfing. So if that's something that you know your travelers really like or something they've mentioned wanting to try, this is the place for them, I would say. It's also an ideal spot for snorkeling and scuba diving. And you can see here that there is an 18-hole public golf course. This was a really interesting thing because I discovered that this golf course was originally built for President Eisenhower. Like he was going to visit Puerto Rico and they just like built a golf course for him so he could play golf. But now it's open to the public and they actually like really encourage visitors. I was on their website taking a look. I don't play golf. I will never be doing that. But I was taking a look for you guys and I discovered that this is super open, super welcoming to visitors. So definitely when you have travelers going to Aguadilla, if they're golfers, this is the place for them. There's of course a local art museum, so you can check out a little bit of the local culture. And interestingly, they have a variety of festivals. Like I was looking at the list of all the festivals they have, there's like multiple every month. So if you know that your clients kind of like to experience the local culture, get involved in the local scene, I think Aguadilla could also be a really cool destination for them. And of course, we can help you get there. So you can see here in the map on the top right corner from San Juan to Aguadilla, it's a pretty straightforward journey. It's like an hour and 50 minutes or so. But with Daytrip, you can also extend the journey and you can add these really cool sightseeing stops to the trip. This includes the Roberto Clemente Museum in case you have any baseball fans. I know my dad would want to go there. There's various waterfalls, really cool sites to the natives of Puerto Rico. So I definitely recommend adding any of these stops. It's super easy to just click a little plus sign as you're booking this trip. You can add however many stops you have interest in, and then by the end of the day, your clients will be in Aguadilla ready to surf, do whatever it is they want to do. So this was the first destination in Puerto Rico that I wanted to highlight for you guys. And now we will go on to the next one. If my computer wants to work, there we go, which is Cabo Rojo. So this one I picked because when I was looking at these photos, I was like, this is beautiful, like extremely Instagram worthy, which I think might be also something that you might have travelers who are interested in the same thing. Like if you didn't take a bunch of pictures on your vacation, like did you even go on vacation? That's like half joke, like only half a joke. So really it does have beautiful pastel vibes. You can see that there's really cool lighthouses. You can see in the bottom left corner, those are actually salt flats. There is a wildlife refuge in this location, and within the wildlife refuge, you can go to these salt flats. The pink color and like the intensity of it kind of depends on how many microorganisms, how many microorganisms are existing in the salt at any given moment. But you can always like tweak it a little bit with like a filter or something, which I would be surprised to find out this photographer did not do. But it's fine. It's a vacation photo and you can still enjoy the beautiful wildlife. I think that's great for younger visitors too. Like if you have younger kids, that's always a nice activity to do. It's still pretty chill, but it's like a nice way to add to the itinerary. Beyond this, of course, there are stunning beaches. Everything is so lovely looking. So I really do recommend this. And I think of note to your clients is that there are a lot of family-owned restaurants nearby where you can try this Puerto Rican Criollo flavor, which is like their idea of like Creole. So it's a nice way to experience the local culture, the local cuisine. And it's really only like 2 hours from San Juan. So it's not too far away. There's hiking, there's wildlife, everything you could ever want to have. And once again, we can take you there. So from San Juan to Cabo Rojo, like I said, it's like 2 hours. But if you extend the journey with these sightseeing stops, there's a ton along the way. There's really Instagram-worthy cities like this one you see there, like Guayama. Oh my God, I should have looked up how to say it. I don't speak Spanish. Guayama. It is what it is. So sorry. Ponce is another one. There's a botanical garden and cultural garden. Of course, more beaches that you can go to along the way. Really, you can't go wrong with the sightseeing stops along the way. It's just a special thing that Daytrip can offer. It's a great way for you guys to elevate the trip, boost your own commission as well, and you don't have to put in a lot of extra research. So those are the two Puerto Rican sites that I wanted to show you. And now we're going to hop to another island. If only it could be this easy in real life, but with Daytrip, it's almost that easy. We just can't drive over water yet, maybe one day, but we're here, we're in Jamaica now. And our first stop is Ocho Rios, which means 8 rivers. Maybe I do speak Spanish. Just kidding, I don't. So this is a very off the beaten path place, I would say. I was looking this up and it was like fishing village, fishing village. But I still wanted to include it because I think Jamaica, we all know Negril, we all know Montego Bay, we all know Kingston. So I wanted to give you kind of places that maybe like your clients hadn't heard of before, or if you have clients who have been to Jamaica a trillion times and they keep wanting to go, but you want to like spice it up a bit, this is a nice option for that. So it's a fishing village, but it's on the rise, I would say. There's a lot of things to do. You can, of course, take a nice peaceful kayak out onto the water. You can go to the different falls, the beautiful beaches, but also I wanted to highlight in the bottom right corner, there is a really nice, like luminescent almost swimming hole that your clients can go to called the Blue Hole. And it's exactly what it sounds like. It's just a really beautiful place to cool off, take a dip. And I think it's like out of all of the places in this area, I would say the Blue Hole is like fairly well known, but it's still more off the beaten path. So I highly recommend that you send your travelers here with Daytrip. And along the way, there's some really cool sites. So Port Royal, if you know that they're like a history buff, there's a lot of stuff to see, the Creighton Estate as well. But I wanted to highlight 9 Mile because I feel like, there's plenty of people going to Jamaica because they love reggae, they love Bob Marley. And so instead of planning like a separate trip just for that, with Daytrip, you can kind of have like a side journey. So you can add a sightseeing stop at 9 Mile. Your travelers are able to see where Bob Marley was born and also where he's buried. They can learn more about reggae. They can have like a proper experience. And then at the end of the day, they'll end up in the beautiful swimming hole. And like, literally, what more could you ask for? Like, sounds great to me. Except this sounds even better, which is Treasure Beach, the next destination that we are going to go to on our virtual journey here of the Caribbean. As you can see, this is another off the beaten path destination that I've selected because, again, like the photos just speak for themselves. It's so beautiful. And I think especially Treasure Beach, which is sort of like a whole area of Jamaica, I think this is a really fantastic place because it's really untouched. And they actually have restrictions that kind of keep it untouched. So they have density restrictions, which mean it's undercrowded. There's peace, there's quiet. What more could you need when you want to have your vacation? This is also a nice way to have that sort of like local sample. You can have the local flavor and really like see what it's like to be in Jamaica and feel like you live there instead of just visit there. There's again those quiet fishing villages and amazing local dining options. And so like I wouldn't say it's a Michelin star experience, but if you have travelers who love food and aren't like they're not into the frills, they don't need like the foam or whatever it is that people always have on their like fancy meals. They just want to have good food. This is the place for them to go. And you know the drill by now. We can help you get them there. And as you can see, also, I wanted to note that like I have this Montego Bay to Treasure Beach. The way I have these routes written here on my webinar, this is a direct link to a route that we have on our website. Like you don't even need to like make it yourself. Like this is a pre-populated route that we already have for you guys, which makes it even easier for you to book. Okay, people are still joining us here. Let me just admit them really fast. So for example, if you wanted to do Montego Bay to Treasure Beach, we've got you covered with all of these awesome sites along the way. And I really wanted to highlight this one too, because we are in October, which is of course our beautiful spooky month. We've got Halloween just a couple weeks away. And one of the stops here, this Rose Hall Great House, is one of the most famous houses on Jamaica. And they have their own like witch story, which I highly recommend you look up because I was looking this up the other day and it was kind of creeping me out. So I loved it for Halloween. So if you have clients going to Jamaica to like escape the, well, it's not that cold just yet, but like escape the chilly weather and they want to have like a witchy, spooky moment while they're there, then I highly recommend adding the Rose Hall Great House to their destination. On the other hand, you can also learn a lot there. Of course, if you have any history buffs, this is a really great place to learn about the history of slavery on Jamaica. I think that's always a really important thing to understand whenever you're visiting any country that has like slavery in their history, is to really understand like how that has impacted what the country is like today. So this is a really fantastic place to do that. You can also visit a rum estate if you want to see what that's like, see what the process is like. Any of these stops really you can't go wrong with. So I highly recommend any of them or a handful of them. That's the beauty of Daytrip. You don't really need to pick just one. You can choose a few and your travelers will have a beautiful trip. So that is our last site for Jamaica. And now we're going to move on to the destination that I need desperately to go to, which is the Dominican Republic. I didn't really know much about it actually before I started planning this webinar. And then when I was going through the destinations that we have on our website, I was like, oh, okay, perfect. Like, I live in the Czech Republic now, but if I ever move back to the US, it's a little bit more convenient to get there and I will be going. And one of you will hear from me to help me plan my trip. So maybe I'll go to Bahia Jibe, which is the first destination I want to talk about. This beach, again, it's like all of these pictures speak for themselves. I feel like I could just like be quiet this entire time and just like flip through the photos and it would be like, okay, done. They're speaking for themselves. But something that I think is really cool about this beach is that there are a ton of shipwrecks off the coast for whatever reason. I guess maybe there's like rocky conditions or something. And so there's a ton of shipwrecks, which makes this beach the scuba diver's dream. You will never catch me scuba diving, I'll tell you that right now. But if you were interested in that, or if you had clients who were interested in that, this is the place to send them. It's so cool. I was looking at all of these pictures online, highly recommend checking it out. This is also, I would say, kind of just a place for any adventurer. The Dominican Republic in general has just like such a variety of activities to do on all of their beaches or like inland. There's just like a never-ending list of things to do and see, including all these natural caves. There's a natural jacuzzi actually known as the Heart of Bahia Jibe. I didn't include a picture here, but if you Google that yourself, it really is exactly what it sounds like. It's this like heart-shaped pool and a bunch of rocks. So you would definitely need some kind of like swimming shoes, water shoes or whatever to get there, hard sole shoes. But it looks so cool and it's like a natural jacuzzi, nice and hot. So I would love to go there. So please send one of your clients there in my stead so I can live vicariously through them and then send me pictures or something. I would love to see them. And most importantly, when you're on vacation, what is better at the end of the day than like a long day where you're tan, you're hot, you've like rinsed off, now you're ready for dinner. And this beach has great lively nightlife, including happy hour specials. So definitely tuck this one away. That's exactly what I want on a vacation. And I'm sure I'm not alone. I'm sure your clients would like it too. And on the way there, before they settle in, and you can see here, it's actually a pretty short trip. So before they settle in for their day at the beach and their happy hour specials, let them experience stuff, you know? Like when they have this really short transfer, it's such a nice way to use our service to make that experience something special. And like it only adds a little bit of time onto their day. So they can go see how cigars are made, for example, along this way. They could go swimming in this really cool swimming hole. They can go explore all of these different areas, these different caves. There's just so much to see. And if you don't know how to get them there, you don't have to worry about it because we've got you. And now we will move on to our final destination, which is Cabarete. This one I was kind of like torn about whether to include because I was looking at all of the like TripAdvisor reviews and everything, and people were like, it's so windy. And I personally don't want a super windy beach, but I know some people do. Again, you won't catch me doing these crazy water sports, but I know people want that. I know, like, if you live in a landlocked state in the United States, like, when you go to the beach, you want to enjoy the beach. You don't just want to sit around. So if you know people who just want to do those water sports and have the best time, this is the place for them. They can do kite surfing, paddle surfing, kiteboarding, surfing of the regular variety and wing foiling, which I had never heard of before, but I Googled and is exactly what it sounds like. You have like a thing that you like use kind of as a wing to like help you ride on the wind. Look it up. I can't really describe it very well. It seems extremely scary to me, but I think someone would really like it. And if you know someone who's kind of into like risky sports, here you go. It's not that risky. Like I would not condone something too risky, but this is like just risky enough. And for the people who don't really want a super windy beach, there's like less windy beaches not too far away. And so you can also arrange for us to help your clients get to those beaches. But this one has fun nightlife. You can always do a relaxing kayak trip as well if you're not into some crazy wing foiling or whatever it may be. And there's really cool hidden reefs and beaches that you can explore. So if you arrange a boat transfer, we'll take you there in the car, you get in the boat. It's a beautiful, seamless journey. And this is exactly how we will get you there with, in my opinion, the best sightseeing stops that I have highlighted in this whole presentation because look at that little monkey. Who doesn't want to go see this monkey? So on the way to Cabarete from Santo Domingo, you can have your clients like literally hang out with monkeys and play with monkeys and just have the time of their life. Or they can go to a cacao farm, which is also very cool, not as cool as monkeys, but you could do both. And that's just like the best day of all time. And then you end up in Cabarete, you go wing foiling, you go hang out at the night, and you just have the best time. So with this was my last destination. I am going to quickly show you a booking tutorial so I can show you exactly how to go to all of these places. And then, just kidding, I forgot that I added this in. We actually have another option for you guys in the Dominican Republic. And so that's why I squeezed these last two slides in really fast before I went to the booking tutorial, which is that we recently launched our day trip service, which is like exactly what it sounds like. It's a day trip, it's a same day round trip. But with this, instead of doing your own same day round trip, we have prepackaged it for you. So you can go from Punta Cana to Santo Domingo, you can go to Bahia Jibe from Punta Cana, and we have it all planned for you. We have all of the destinations, we have it all written out with the itinerary so you know exactly what's included. We have this in Punta Cana and Santo Domingo. We don't have this in Jamaica or Puerto Rico just yet, and so that's why I'm only highlighting them from the Dominican Republic. But definitely take a look at these on our website. When we go there, I will show you where they are, and it's just a really nice way to add it to your client's itinerary. You don't have to do a lot of research because I know you're researching a billion other things for your itineraries. So if you just add a quick day trip onto your itinerary, it's like the icing on the cake. It's so perfect. So now we will actually go to the website. I see the questions are coming in, so I will address them in just a few minutes, but I want to go through the website a little bit before I get there. So when you come to daytrip.com, you will come here onto our landing page. As you can see, I was looking things up for my trip to Albania. But the most important step right when you come to our website is to make sure that you're logged in. So you go up to the corner where it says My Trips, you click I am a travel agent, you log in with your credentials, and once you've seen your name up there, that means you're good to go. But that is the most important first step so that you can get your commercial conditions applied properly. So once you're logged in, we have so many things for you. It's like every time I do one of these trainings, it's like there's something new and I'm just like, oh my God, there's so much to show. But what I really want to show you today is our multi-city journey because I think this is a relatively new feature that some of you maybe have used, but that I think is really useful. And I just want to make sure that I'm doing it justice. I have my notes here just in case I forgot anything about all my destinations. So when it comes to multi-city, there's a few different ways that you can use this. So I kind of think of it as being really good for cruise excursions because you have clients who are coming into an airport, they want to spend some time maybe in the city center, and then they need to get transferred to the port, and then their cruise takes them to a different location. So this is really great for that. But I also want to show you that it's great if you're just booking like multiple legs of a journey, like multiple legs of a trip, you can do it all through here. And it's just one simple booking flow. So let's say your clients are flying into Punta Cana. If I could spell, that would really help. Punta Cana, and they want to go to Bahia Jibe. Once again, wish I could spell. Bahia Jibe, which if you remember is where all the shipwrecks are. So let's say they'll go on October 20th, and then I want to change the time of departure because they're arriving later in the morning. So I'm going to choose an 11:45 a.m. departure, which is good if they're landing around like 11:15, because we do suggest if your clients are flying into an airport that you give a little bit of a buffer time for them to get any bags, just to account for any delays, but there is a 1 hour included waiting period as well. So I'm going to do an 11:45 a.m. pickup for their 11 a.m. or 11:15 a.m. landing. And then that's the first leg of the journey that I have booked. From there, you'll see that our system automatically populated by Ahibe. But if, for example, they were taking like some other transportation to a different city, you can also put a different city in here. It does not have to be like perfectly continuous, which is another really cool feature of this tool. But for the purpose of this, we're going to go from Bahia Hibe to Cabarete. And let's say that they're spending like a few days in Bahia Hibe. So then on the 24th, you can add a destination. You can add up to 5 destinations. And if that's not enough, you can always do like the first 5 and then you can book the next 5. It's very easy. So Cabarete, back to Punta Cana. Sad, we have to go home. And we'll do that on the 29th. So this is every leg of the journey. This is my client's entire time in the Dominican Republic, and I'm doing this in like 3 clicks. You need to indicate how many travelers you have. So we have 2 adults, we'll say, and 1 child. Each passenger is allowed 1 checked bag, 1 carry-on bag. If you have additional baggage, you can indicate that here, and then you just hit search. So from here, you'll get a little snapshot of your overall trips that you have here. You'll also see your commission. It's going to look different depending on your commercial conditions, but this is what mine is right now. There is a free cancellation period as long as you cancel 24 hours before your pickup time. So that's a nice reminder that we have here. You can select which type of vehicle you like. I'm good with the sedan. It's just 2 adults, 1 child. This is fine for me. And you'll see the inclusions of door-to-door service. The driver speaks English, and we have sightseeing available, which is exactly what we want to see. So next, we will add our stops. If, for example, you have a route that does not have recommended stops, you are welcome to add your own stop name, and then you can make your own stop duration. But I want to add some of the ones that I showed you, like the little monkey jungle. So we're going to add the monkey jungle, and I just clicked the plus sign to add the monkeys, but obviously I want more time with the monkeys. So we click the edit. We will add here 2 hours and 30 minutes. Not enough, but we'll make it work. And you can also add an additional stop to any leg of your journey. Like you can truly do whatever you would like. It's really customizable, really flexible. And this also updates here on the side. So you can see that your commission has changed. The stop price is separate. I mean, it'll all be paid in one go, but you can see like exactly how much is being spent on what. Once you've added your stuff, you just hit checkout, and that's that. Your information is going to automatically be populated because you are logged into your travel agent account. You will add your traveler's information here, the information of their phone number, their email, You can add your email if you would like to get all of the communication, but you can rest assured that we're not going to be sending anything with like prices or whatever trip details like that. It's really just the driver information and vehicle details so that your clients know about that. So if you're not too sure, you can click on that little box. You'll need to note that the lead passenger is over 18 years old. And then this is a really cool feature that we have, a very necessary feature, which is that I indicated there was one child in the booking. So our system knows that you need to have a car seat, unless the child, it's up to the parent's discretion, I guess, or if they're bringing their own car seat. But we do have the option to add one on free of charge to your booking. So we'll say that the child is between 4 and 6 years old. So you just indicate that. You can put any special requirements here, if there's a pet, a wheelchair, anything like that. And then you'll input your flight details here. And this is where you can do the pickup and drop off point. We have a really great map, which is fully connected to Google Maps. And so this makes it super easy to indicate exactly where your clients need to be picked up. For example, they went to get tacos and they want to be picked up from the taco place. Easy, we've got you. Of course, it also works if they want to be picked up from their hotel, but that's not as fun as getting tacos. You can also upgrade your vehicle here in this step. Then you just input your payment information, you click book now, and you're good to go. So that is how you do a multi-city journey on Daytrip. Before I get to the questions, actually, I see so many questions coming in, so I just want to take a second to make sure. Okay, I see Sada's handling it. Perfect. Amazing. Sada's a queen. She's got it all. So that was a multi-city trip. Of course, we have one-way transfers, return transfers. I think those are very straightforward for you guys. It's basically multi-city. If you just chopped it off and it was only one leg of the journey, we've got you here. We also have our day trips, like I showed you in the Dominican Republic, in Punta Cana and Santo Domingo, but we have them all around the world. You can really just like explore, honestly. I was doing this earlier today actually to get inspiration for my trips because I was like, I don't even know like where I can go in the city that I'm visiting. And Daytrip is the perfect website for it. And we don't just operate in Europe and islands. Like I think there's sometimes a misconception that we only are in Europe, but obviously, as you can see from this presentation, we are all over the place. So let's say, for example, we want to go from Bangkok in Thailand. We can do so. And if you're not really sure what's included, you just click on it and we have it all laid out here for you. So this is a really fantastic feature, especially I do want to note that entry and admission tickets need to be purchased separately. That's not included in the day trip price. But because the itinerary is very detailed, you'll know exactly what time your clients are going to be there based on the pickup time that you suggest. So it's really easy to plan like, oh, my clients want to be picked up at this time. They're going to arrive at the Buddha Mountain at this time. If there's tickets, you can buy them for whatever time it is. So it's really easy to plan. And we've pretty much done all the research for you here, which can be nice if there's just like one thing that you're like, I can't do any more research on this trip. We can help you with that. So those are day trips. And I want to show you our final service that we recently launched, which is our by the hour service, which is exactly what it sounds like. You can hire one of our vetted English speaking drivers for an hourly service. You just put in the city that they're coming from. Sure, you do as many hours, up to 14 hours. And there is an average of like 20 kilometers per hour in this period of time. So you just have to keep that in mind. But let's say 4 hours to do like a nice tour around the area. You pick the day, you pick the time of departure, you indicate how many people you have. And again, it's the same baggage allowance. And then you hit find a ride. As of right now, this is not an automatic feature on our website. So this will be sent directly to our customer support team who will get back to you with a quote. But it's really straightforward and very easy to use. There's just two other things that I want to show you on our website right now, which are under the transfers section. This is for anybody who's wondering like, oh, I have a trip in Estonia. Do they operate there? Oh boy, do we. You just go to this list. You can find all the countries where we operate. Same goes for our day trips. You can go down here to the bottom of the page and you can see all of the places where we have day trips. It's amazing. Like it's truly so easy and so user-friendly and helpful. So I definitely recommend taking a look at that. And then, of course, we always have our travel agent portal. If there's any issues that you have, you can get in touch with our customer support team via the portal or also just like the regular phone number, email address. But I think it's just nice to see like all of the things that we offer you guys. You can also manage your bookings from here. So if you need to edit anything, we can guarantee changes as long as they're made 36 hours before the trip departure time. If there's anything that you cannot edit from your travel agent portal, just get in touch with our customer support team and they'll be able to help you out. So that is our walkthrough of our website. And so now I'm going to go back to my presentation and we will get to the Q&A. So I'm going to look in the chat box. I believe that Sada is probably crushing it. So let's see. Okay. So yes, Sada was answering questions about flight delays. that we do guarantee the driver waits for 60 minutes after the flight lands. Oh, people are still joining. So we do have the 60-minute included wait time. If the flight is delayed longer than that and the original driver cannot accommodate the delay, we will find a replacement driver. So I think that's really great peace of mind for you guys. Heather is asking, oh, Sada is beating me to it. Heather was asking, I see Google Pay. Can we share a trip link with our clients so they can complete that form of payment? As Sada says, that is not a feature we offer right now, but actually, if you saw on our website where I was going through the booking flow and then it said like book now, and then right next to it, there was a little button that says like save as draft. If you're going through the booking process, you can click that save as draft button and it'll pop up with like a little form saying like, this is not a feature that's live yet, but if you would like this feature, let us know. I highly recommend that you click it because that is how we will know how many of you are actually going to use it. We really want this to be a live feature. So if you see that button, you're like, yes, 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 give me those like draft bookings, please, please do it. And we will help you out there down the road. No pun intended. So that is the question about sharing a trip link with your clients. Is it possible to book for small groups? Like I said, our largest vehicle size is 7 people, which I think is a small group, but if you're talking like 14 people, we can do 2 vans. We can do like an MPV van situation. So you can book for more than 7 people. Different currency payment and commission options. So I can show you on our website, gotta close this. I can show you on our website that we have different currencies that you can put the booking system into. Just for the purposes of this, I'll just show a one-way trip. So as you're going through, you can change the currency up here to all of these different currencies, but when you're actually paying for the trip, it depends on where the trip is. So if you're booking a trip in Europe, it's going to be paid in euros. Right now I have this defaulted euros, but let's say I want to see Canadian dollars. So you can change the currency here, but that does not mean that the trip is going to be paid in that currency. So like I said, in Europe, it's going to be charged in euros. Almost everywhere else that we operate, it's going to be USD. So just keep that in mind that you can change what it looks like. You can change it so your clients understand the price, but that does not necessarily mean it's going to be charged in that currency. So that's a good question though. And actually, now that I'm back on our website, I wanted to show you one more thing that I forgot, which is our custom route form. If you click into the origin box here and go down to the bottom where it says request a custom route, this is how you can really do those super specific trips. If you're like, ooh, I don't know, my clients want to see like a cemetery where their family is buried. You can do that super easily through this form, and we can help you craft that perfect, flexible, customizable itinerary. So that's the custom route form, and I just wanted to make sure that I highlighted that quickly, even though it was a totally different tangent than whatever the question was. I still think it's very helpful. So let's go back to our chat. Does Daytrip provide white glove service at the airport, meeting clients directly at arrivals? We have meet and greet service, yes. So the driver will greet your clients in arrivals. We'll pick them up from the airport. It's part of our service, yes. The next question, can we set up then client makes changes from non-portal website? We do not have a way for your clients to like edit their itinerary themselves. Really, like we work with you guys, the travel advisors, so that we can keep it so that it's like you guys are managing their trips. If this is something you're interested in, definitely let us know. But for right now, you guys are in charge of making the edits to the trip. Okay, let's see. I think that is all so far for the questions. I do want to answer a couple that I have here on this slide because I think it can kind of be helpful sometimes if you're not even like sure what question to ask. So this first question sort of goes to with what you guys said about the draft option. Do all payments, no, sorry, I can't read. Do all bookings require full payment at the time of booking? Some of our trips, like one-way transfers and day trips, you can actually pay in cash. So that can kind of be like a book now, pay later kind of thing. If it's over 200 euros, there will be a small deposit on the trip just to like lock everything in. But otherwise, you can pay the remaining balance in cash. So that's sort of like your book now, pay later option. It's not available for all of our trips, unfortunately, but hopefully down the road we will have the draft feature. So again, if you see that button pop up when you're booking, be like, yes, I would be interested. And that will help us a lot, like move it down the pipeline. What are the different products you offer? I know I showed a lot on our website. So it's one-way transfers, round trip transfers, multi-city transfers. And when I say transfer, that means like city to city, airport transfers, like everything under the sun, basically. We also have our day trips, which are those prepackaged experiences I mentioned. And then we have our by the hour service. So those are all the different products that we offer. I told you about the custom route form, so I already answered my own question. Nice. Can I request a specific driver? You are always welcome to request a specific driver. We actually like to get those requests because we're happy to see that you liked your driver so much. So definitely let us know. That does not mean that we can guarantee it. If for some reason the driver is already assigned to another trip or is off, has a family commitment or something, for whatever it may be, we will do our best to get you your driver that you love, but we cannot always guarantee it. The next question is, can I change my booking? You can change many things about your booking from our beautiful travel agent portal that I showed you. You can change the pickup time, pickup location, drop off location, all that kind of stuff. If you don't have the flight details, for example, for your clients, you can always add that in later. If there's something you cannot make yourself, you can always get in touch with our customer support team. The second to last question is, do drivers give local travel information as they are driving or during a stop? Our drivers are locals who know the area. They're not certified guides, but they will absolutely provide you with local information. They can give you restaurant recommendations. They can give you tips and tricks, everything like that. They're just not certified guides, but they're really cool people. And the last question, what about last minute bookings? I mean, last question for this slide, and then I'll look in the chat because it's popping off. So last minute bookings, we do our best to accommodate last minute bookings. In many cases, we are able to help with them. I saw one the other day that was like 15 minutes and then we helped. So it was really, really great last minute booking. That does not always happen, but we will do our absolute best to accommodate your last minute bookings. So let's see in the chat. Okay. Um, yes, okay. Yes, Lisa, I am recording, so I will definitely be sending this out to everybody who registered. If you're interested, you can get the recording. There are no other options for 8 passengers. Lynn, if you have a specific question, I just email me. I'm going to have my email at the last slide of this not destination, this presentation. So please feel free to just email me directly and I can help you get this sorted out. So don't worry about it. But I did want to quickly plug our Facebook group. We recently launched this. The name is Daytrip for Travel Agents. I know that you guys love a Facebook group, so I would love to see you guys in here helping ask your questions, helping other advisors, giving them recommendations. So definitely feel free to join us in here and we can interact. I'm one of the moderators. It's not just like a nameless, faceless thing. It's like, no, I'll be responding to your comments. And we actually have a giveaway going right now. You can win a $50 day trip voucher. We have 3 vouchers that we're giving away. The giveaway closes on Monday, so definitely join the group. You can find the post. You just need to comment about your day trip experience so far if you've used us before. We are also accepting as your submission photos from your day trip experiences. So definitely share those pictures. Let us know how we're doing and you could potentially win a $50 voucher. And we will be in touch after Monday with the winner of the giveaway. And with that, Lynn, this is my email address. Please feel free to get in touch with me if you have any specific questions, like how to book for more than 7 people, just let me know. Otherwise, I also have our customer support information here, daytrip@daytrip.com, and then the 2 phone numbers. We are available, well, not we, I'm not available 24/7, but they are available 24/7. But I feel like because we're just such a family here at Daytrip. We're all just one big team. So please get in touch with us. We're always happy to help. I love doing these webinars. So if you have other questions, please let me know. I can always help with that stuff. I will be sending out a recording of the webinar just in case. And otherwise, I just want to say thank you for spending your time with us tonight. Thank you, Sada, for checking the chat, making sure all the questions were getting answered. And we will connect on another webinar soon.